Greetings, Soulswind here, and welcome to Let's Play Dragon Throne Battle of Red Cliffs. This is yet another topic episode where we're going to discuss temples and disasters. Although there isn't much of a religious element in this game, but the game does have a temple for prayers, and it allows us to revive our fallen heroes, as well as to conduct sacrifices to benefit the kingdom. There are two branches of sacrifices available: the civilian sacrifice and the national sacrifice. Civilian sacrifice affects the city in which the temple conducting the sacrifice is located at, while national sacrifice affects the kingdom. However, a national sacrifice requires the assigning of a sacrifice officer before they can be conducted. Let's first take a look at civilian sacrifices. There are disasters in the game, but only in skirmish mode. We can try to alleviate the situation using temples if we are not in time to get the research to prevent the disasters. They don't cost all that much, but still it isn't a long-term solution. When a disaster happens, we can choose whether to provide relief. We can see an example of the disaster in the next episode when I play the custom mission. Anyways, when a disaster happens, a dialogue appears on screen. Using the dialogue, we can see what disaster it is and choose whether to provide relief. We might accidentally close the dialogue, such as by pressing the escape key, or choose not to provide relief. Or if we did not notice what disaster would take place, we can check what disaster is currently going on by clicking on this icon in the top right hand corner of the screen. As soon as the dialogue is closed, we can pause the game, click on the temple, and conduct a sacrifice according to the disaster. It'd be useful if we have multiple temples for this, as the sacrifices consume incense. Incense is a resource automatically and periodically generated by the temples. Each of the temples have their own incense values. The maximum incense a temple can have is 100. I have noticed that the resultant loss of morale and population after more than 100 in-game days can still be 0 if a sacrifice has been made corresponding to the disaster before the disaster concludes. As we can see in the next episode though, disasters such as earthquakes can cause damage to the buildings, which could be dangerous if we fail to notice that a production building got destroyed. Anyway, the long-term solution is still to conduct the necessary research in the academy to prevent the occurrence of disasters. Now, let us take a look at national sacrifices. These sacrifices improve our kingdom and can benefit our army too. The flag sacrifice, for example, can restore our army's strength in a skirmish mission without the need for them to return to the city or to garrison themselves in a camp supplied with food. Meanwhile, the sacrifice to God of Matchmaking restores health, much like an emergency heal. Sacrifices can also benefit us economically too, such as doubling the production of a farm or the workshop. As for the fate of the kingdom, according to the PDF game manual, a higher fate is supposed to reduce the frequency of disasters. However, that's not going to be very useful after disaster prevention have been fully researched. On the topic of fate of the kingdom, it seems that in skirmish mode, the fate stays constant and only affected by the temple, which will increase it. However, in the campaign, it fluctuates with a random number every month. Let's end this episode by talking about hero revival. Fallen heroes go to the temple and can be revived with a cost in gold and incense. I think I've mentioned this before in the discussion about the heroes, but the higher the level of the hero, the more gold it costs. Incense cost stays the same, that is, 50 incense per revival. Dead heroes that have not been revived after some time might appear in the inns again by observing the enemy heroes. it could simply be just that the enemies were completely eliminated from the mission, and therefore, the enemy heroes become free agents again. Even if we had a fallen hero on our side, after more than 20 minutes, the hero is still in the temple, likely indicating that fallen heroes will not leave the temple if the player is not defeated. Well, that's it for the topic on temples and disasters. And it also concludes the special feature and topics episode where we discuss about topics of interest in Dragon Throne Battle of Red Cliffs. In the next episode, which will likely be the final episode, it will feature gameplay of the custom mission in this game. I hope you found these topic episodes useful. Again, let me know in the comments below if I've missed out anything or if the information that I've provided is inaccurate. Thank you so much for watching. That's all I have for now. Have a nice day.